Hello and welcome to the dungeon. I'm your host Rob. In today's video we're going to be taking a look at barbarians. We haven't given barbarians a lot of attention lately. We've been doing like warlock, sorcerer type stuff. I figured we'd give some of the melee characters some love and go with barbarian. I think barbarians are a really fun class to play. Every barbarian I've seen played at our table at least has had a lot of personality and they've just been really great. What can I say? I kind of have a nice spot in my heart for barbarians, even though I haven't actually played one yet, although I am playing one right now in our current campaign, so I'll let you know how that goes. So today we're going to be doing the Path of the Beast, and I think next week we'll do the Path of Wild Magic, but we'll just go in alphabetical order for now. I think the Path of the Beast is pretty cool. I do see a lot of people complain about it online, and I think some of those complaints do have some validity, but I actually think this subclass is pretty strong, especially in like lower levels up to like tier 2, tier 3 even, right? Which is most campaigns. My only problem with it is that a lot of times, a lot of your abilities give you like a claw attack or bite attacks or tail and stuff. And at low levels, these abilities are actually really good. The problem is, as you just get better and better magical items, including magical weapons, that the claws and stuff just aren't scaling with it, right? Like you can't really compete with, someone who's using like a +3 weapon that also does like fire damage per hit kind of thing, right? Like it's just not going to happen. I do think though that if your campaign doesn't allow feats, this subclass starts looking really, really good. Because things like Great Weapon Mastery are always a real strong temptation on a barbarian as well. But that's not the only way to go. And I think especially with the claw attack, if you wanted to play like a 2-weapon fighter style barbarian and rely just on like those extra attacks that you're getting from your usual offhand attack and strength bonus, your extra rage bonus and whatnot, I think this is a really, really solid option. And so, especially if you don't have to compete with Great Weapon Master, this starts looking really, really good. But even if you do, I think at lower levels, I think this is a great option. You're not taking a -5 hit penalty, so you're going to be hitting a lot more often as well. I think it's pretty good. Anyways, level 3, you're going to get to choose your subclass, which obviously in our case is going to be the Beast. And you're going to get Form of the Beast. So when you enter your rage, you can transform, revealing the bestial power within you. Until the rage ends, you can manifest natural weapons. It counts as a simple weapon for you, and you add your strength modifier to the attack and damage rolls when you hit as normal. So you choose the weapon's form each time you rage, which I like. You're not like forced to pick one and then always be locked into that, or have it until you finish a long rest or anything. Each time you rage, you can choose one of these 3 options. And your options are bite, claws, and tail. I think bite's probably the weakest, but I don't think it's necessarily terrible. I just think that especially at higher level, it doesn't really keep up as well. But at a low level can be pretty strong. So anyways, your mouth transforms into a bestial muzzle or great mandibles, your choice. I think we all can agree that bestial muzzle is probably the cooler choice though. It deals 1d8 piercing damage on a hit. Once on each of your turns when you damage a creature with this bite, you regain a number of hit points equal to proficiency bonus, provided you have less than half your hit points when you hit. So that's kind of the real issue I have with it, is it requires me to already be below half health, and it's not like an extra attack or anything like that. It's just, if I hit, I get to do this damage, and I can heal myself for a bit as well. Now, the heal isn't bad, even at low levels. I know getting 2 hit points doesn't sound like a lot, but you are raging, so that's probably going to be more like 4 hit points essentially, right? So I don't think it's terrible. And because you tend to be recklessly attacking a lot, and because you aren't wearing like full plate armor or something, or using a shield, so you're not going to have the armor class that like say a paladin or a fighter might, and everybody attacking you has advantage, so you will get hit a lot anyways. So it's not like you won't be below half ever and won't have a chance to use this ability. I just think that because of some of the other restrictions around it, it's probably the weakest of the 3. But, in a dire circumstance, any healing is better than no healing. So, whatever. Your second option are claws. And if you've ever wanted to play Wolverine from the X-Men, this is probably the way to do it. You could even go Mountain Dwarf, actually, which would be pretty funny because Wolverine's pretty short in the comics, you know? And you're like, ah! And you're just like this crazy little dwarf. That could be fun. Of course, if you want to be true to the comics, you're probably going to go Variant Human, which is always a strong choice anyways. Enough of that. Each of your hands transforms into a claw, which you can use as a weapon if it's empty. It deals 1d6 slashing damage on a hit, once on each of your turns. When you attack with a claw, using the attack option, you can make one additional claw attack as part of the same action. And that's why I really like this ability. Because, let's say you're level 5 or so, you have extra attack, you can be attacking twice per round, but if you take attack action with your claw, you can be making 3 attacks a round. And you might be able to use a claw as an offhand weapon, giving you 3 attacks a round and a bonus action attack for a 4th. And that starts adding up a lot. Especially combined with your strength bonus, combined with your rage bonus, the damage can be really, really significant. Now, like I said, it's not scaling because you're not getting like a +2 claw or +3 claws or anything like that. You're not getting, Frostbrand claws or life-stealing claws or anything. So I think that at higher levels, having a really great magic items is probably going to be better, right? Like if you're, using Black Razor, that's probably going to be stronger. But assuming you're not using Black Razor, and I think this is a really, really strong option, especially at like lower levels, where, like I said, you can be attacking way more often than anybody else. So I think that's pretty significant. Your third option is Tail, which is your defensive option, and potentially offensive as well. You grow a lashing, spiny tail, which deals 1d8 piercing damage on a hit and has the reach property. Potentially good with something like Sentinel, If a creature you can see within 10 feet of you hits with the attack roll, you can use your reaction to swipe your tail and roll 1d8, applying a bonus to your armor class equal to the number rolled, potentially causing the attack to miss you. So this isn't bad, if you roll well, you could turn hits into misses. My only caution is, though, if you compare this to, say, some of the other classes, like Rangers can get a parry, and the College of Swords Bard has like their blade flourishes, which they can use to boost their armor class. Because those classes will often have pretty decent armor class anyways, and because they're not giving up advantage to everybody they're fighting, a +5 or +6 is often enough to turn almost anything into a miss. But on a Barbarian, that might not always be the case because they're going to have advantage. However, one nice thing about this is it's not limited to like a number of times per day. There's no like equal to your con mod or equal to your proficiency bonus or anything like that. It just uses your reaction. So every round, when your reaction refreshes, you could use this and save yourself a lot of damage. So I actually think this is a very strong option. Is it as fun as Claws? Maybe not, but I think it might actually, it's hard to say, but I think these two options are pretty close. Anyways, that's all the level 3 stuff. Level 6, Bestial Soul. The feral power within you increases, causing the natural weapons of your form of the beast to count as magical for purposes of overcoming resistance and immunity to non-magical attacks and damage. So that's nice. Now your claws or tail or bite count as a magical weapon. Pretty good. You can also alter your form to help you adapt to your surroundings. When you finish a short or long rest, choose one of the following benefits, which lasts until you finish your next short or long rest. You gain a swimming speed equal to your walking speed and can breathe underwater. Not bad. You gain a climbing speed equal to your walking speed, and you can climb difficult surfaces, including upside down on ceilings, without needing to make an ability check. So, if you ever wanted to be Spider-Man, this might be an option as well, I guess. When you jump, you can make a strength athletics check and extend your jump by a number of feet equal to the check's total. You can make this special check only once per turn. That is pretty good too, though. I mean, even if you rolled, let's say you roll well, actually. Let's take it to an extreme. Say you roll like a 15 or a 20 or something. You're also getting your athletics proficiency bonus, which you probably have, If you don't, that's okay too. But if you do have it, you're getting that on top. And you're getting a strength modifier on top. Like, if you go to 20, you could be jumping like potentially 30 feet plus at higher levels when you have a big proficiency bonus, you know? Um, that's quite a jump. So, you know, I think this ability is pretty good. I like the fact that it's pretty flexible. My only thing is you don't get to like pick it as the circumstance arises, right? It's like you pick it when you finish your long or short rest, and then you change it out after your next long or short rest. If you want to change it at all, of course. And you might not know what's coming up, right? Maybe you needed water breathing, but you had super jumping. Maybe you needed wall climbing, but you've got water breathing. Like, you don't always know what's going to be coming up, so you can't always just like react to it. But still, I think all three abilities are fairly generally useful, so none of them are really bad choices. Anyways, level 10, Infectious Fury. When you hit a creature with your natural weapons while you're raging, the beast within you can curse your target with rabid fury. The target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw, DC equals 8, plus your constitution modifier, plus your proficiency bonus. Which, by the way, is not bad, right? At least it's your con, which is going to be good. It's not like your wisdom or your intelligence or something that you might not have gone into. So you have two options you can choose. Number 1, the target must use its reaction to make a melee attack against another creature of your choice you can see. Potentially really good, especially if it hits really hard. Stuff like giants hit like ridiculously hard. So causing one of them to just smack another giant is pretty good. However, that does require there to be another target, so, you know, that might always be available. However, the second option, target takes 2d12 psychic damage. Again, not bad. You know, it's not a ton of damage. You are level 10 already, but it is psychic, so it's probably not going to be resisted. And it's not like that damage is terrible either. And it's just, you know, more damage on top of what you were already trying to do. You are a barbarian. That is your main purpose. It's not like you're a wizard and if you succeed on an attack roll, you get to do this damage or something, which you see sometimes. And it's like, well, why am I attacking when I'm, you know, 10th level wizard? I'm probably going to be using spells. Maybe I have an attack cantrip or something, and if I can use it on that, that's okay, you know. But barbarian, you're going to be attacking all the time, so this is not a bad ability, I think. Anyways, you can use this feature a number of times, equal to your proficiency bonus, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. Finally, we have your level 14 ability, Call the Hunt. The beast within you grows so powerful that you can spread its ferocity to others and gain resilience from them joining your hunt. When you enter your rage, you can choose a number of other willing creatures you can see within 30 feet of you, equal to your constitution modifier, minimum of one creature. You gain 5 temporary hit points for each creature that accepts this feature. Now, I don't know why they wouldn't. I mean, well, actually, I shouldn't say that. There's always that one guy who's like playing the wizard, and he's like, well, I'm not going to be attacking anyway, as we just mentioned. So I'm going to reject that feature just to be a jerk. There's always one. But yeah, anyways, assuming they didn't reject the feature, until the rage ends, the chosen creatures can each use the following benefit once on each of their turns. When the creature hits the target with an attack roll and deals damage to it, the creature can roll 1d6 and gain a bonus to the damage equal to the number rolled. You can use this feature a number of times, equal to proficiency bonus, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. So, basically, you know, let's say you have a party of four people, right? Yourself and 3 allies. Assuming that they're all, like, you know, within 30 feet of you, when you use this ability, you're going to get 5 temporary hit points per ally, so 15 hit points, and each one of them can do an extra die 6 damage once per turn when they hit. So, I mean, a die 6 isn't huge damage at 14th level, but that's on each of their attack, or each of their turns, not each of their attacks. So you could be potentially doing an extra 3d6 damage by giving that to all your allies. That's not a bad thing in any event. And it only gets better the more allies you have, you know? So, you know, if you had an extra person in your party, you got a 5-man group, suddenly that's 4d6 extra damage being done per round, or even 5d6 if you have enough people. You know, and if you're playing like a Critical Role style campaign with Matt Mercer there, and you got an 8-person party, that's 7 allies that could potentially be getting that buff. So, you know, it scales very, very nicely. Either way, I think it's a pretty solid ability. You getting some temporary hit points is a great thing on a barbarian because you're probably just going to rage. Now those temporary hit points are going to give you an even bigger hit point buffer. Your allies are all getting something, which is nice for them. They're getting to do a bit of extra damage. Overall, I think it's a pretty strong subclass. Like, is it the strongest barbarian in the game? Probably not. But, you know, I'd say it's better than some. Looking at you, Berserker Dwarf from Sword Coast Adventurer's Guide. Oh, not Berserker, sorry, the Battle Rager Dwarf. That's what I meant to say. Berserker can probably be added to that list too, though. Let's be honest. So you know, I don't think it's bad by any means. Like I said, I wouldn't say it's as strong as, you know, the Totem, of course, or the Zealot. Probably, but you know, maybe comparable to Ancestral Guardian for like third or fourth, maybe somewhere in that range. I do think that just being a claw wielding barbarian, just making a bunch of attacks, sounds like a lot of fun actually. Nobody in any of my campaigns has ever played this particular subclass yet, so I haven't gotten to see it in action yet. But like I said, we've had a few barbarians at our table, and all of them have been a lot of fun. They've all been, you know, just really crazy personalities and tend to cause a lot of trouble, which is just fun for everybody at the table. You know, just good stuff. So I do think that I think it would be really cool. I'd like to see one in action at some point, but you know, hopefully this video will encourage some people to try it out. And like I said, especially if your campaign's only going to like level 10, 12, somewhere in that range, the fact that you're not going to be able to use like uber magical weapons with this effectively doesn't really hurt you so much, you know, because you're not going to be getting to the levels where you start getting that stuff anyways. And especially when a campaign is maybe only going to go to like level 6, 7, 8, I think this subclass is really, really going to excel. So anyways, those are my thoughts. Feel free to like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. But most importantly, leave me your comments in the comment section. I'd love to hear from people who actually played this subclass and what they think of it. And, you know, like I said, a lot of people don't seem to like it online. I've heard a lot of people complain. But I hear, you know, people complain about everything practically, so whatever. I personally think it looks decent. I can't say that from personal experience though, so who knows, maybe I'm wrong. But I think it'd be a lot of fun to play, and I think it could be pretty effective, especially, like I said, in a low to mid-level campaign. Anyways, that's everything I have, so thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.